This video clip is to show you how to make a quick interactive sorting activity for pupils using Notebook. This is one that I produced for my A-level class, just to show you how it works, where pupils have to sort these statements into whether they're characteristics of fibrous proteins or globular proteins. So the pupil comes up to the board and selects whatever statement they want and drags it to the appropriate side of the board. So for example, this one here, they can instantly see that the answer is correct because of the tick, whereas if they drag it to the other side of the board, they can see that it's wrong because it's got the X. It's very simple to do, and I will show you how to do this now. First thing is you need to open up a notebook folder. And you want to create the two sides of the board for them to drag their object to. So if you go to shapes and select square and just click and drag it to the size that you want it to be, and we need two sides, so we need to have two squares. Okay, once you've done that, go back up to your cursor. We need to make these squares different colors. So if you click on it and go to the drop down menu and go to properties, it will open up this side where you can choose different colors for your square. So I'm going to make this side red, and I can do the same with this side, and I'm going to make this side yellow. Okay. Once you've done that, you want to type your headings. So if you just start typing, it will appear anywhere on the screen, and then you can drag it to the correct place. Same with this one. But you don't want the pupils being able to move these about whenever they are dragging their statements up, so we need to lock it into place. So if you click on it and go to the drop down menu and go to locking, select lock in place, and that means you can't move it anymore. And just do the same with this one. And the same with these squares, we don't want the pupils being able to move them. So click on the square and lock that into place as well. Okay, now you can start making your statements. Okay, so it doesn't really matter where you have them on the board. Okay, and you need to have a little tick and cross, and if you go back up to the shapes, they have those options there. Okay, so if you select the tick and just click once, I find that that's a useful size, and then the same with the X. Okay, now you need to go back to your cursor because we need to change the color of them. So if you select your object, go to your drop down menu and go to properties, it'll bring up this again. Now because it's quite a small tick and cross, fill effects doesn't really work that well, so if you go to line style, it's the line color that we're going to change. So if your answer 1 should go into the left hand side, you need to make the tick the opposite color. So I need to make my tick yellow, and I need to make my X red. Sorry, go to line style and select red. If this was to go on the other side, answer 2 needs to go on the right hand side. That means I need to make my tick red and my X yellow. Okay, now I'm just going to adjust these so they're a bit closer. Our pupils catch on really quickly to what the colour of these ticks and crosses mean and what side they need to go to. So we're going to cover them up, but first thing before we do that, we need to group the tick and the cross with the answer, because at the minute they're just dragging them separately. So if you press Control on your keyboard, and whenever you click on each of these objects, it'll highlight all of them, and go to your drop down menu and go to grouping and just select group, and so now that they're grouped together, you can see that whenever you drag it across, the whole thing can move. Okay, so we're just going to do the same for this. So hit Control on your keyboard and highlight each of your objects. Go to one of the drop down menus and group together. Okay, now our pupils are very quick at working out what colour the tick and cross means, which way it goes in, so we're just going to hide them, and the easiest way of doing that is going up to our pen, and we're going to change the colour of the pen. We're going to change it so it's the same colour as the background. So if you go down to this tab and select line style, we're going to choose white, and we're going to choose a thicker line so that we can cover it easier, and we're just going to draw over the top of our tick and cross. Now they're still there, you just can't see them anymore. So the pupil comes up and drags it across.